Hello everyone. Today we're going to be adding one of my birthday presents to my Christmas presents. For Christmas my wife got me these train cars and a beautiful locomotive for my train collection and railway that we're going to be building. Today we're adding light kits, which I got for my birthday, to these trains. Each light kit for the coaches and the combined car, they call it, which is half baggage, half passenger, consists of a light kit and 2 pairs of wheels so that we have metal pickups from the track. The caboose, we adding interior lights. It came with lights on the sides of the back of it, so it has the metal wheels on it already, but we're going to show you how we do that today. I've already done one of the cars, and that would be this one here. It's got the metal wheels and the wiring done. I'm going to show you doing the rest of them today. Okay, so here we've got laid out what we need. We have our circuit board with our lights, has the connections on the back, our wheel sets. There's actually 2 different wheels. These come with screws and what they call wipers. The wipers add a lot of drag, so what we're doing here is the contact wheels actually be ball bearing wheels and just regular metal wheels for the non-pickup wheels, so that we have less drag on the cars. So basically you'll have 2 sets of bearing wheels with the pickups and 2 sets of regular wheels for the cars, and we won't be using the wipe sets in there. We'll just be using direct contact, and I'll show you how all that works when we're done. But this is everything all laid out, instruction sheet. Pico actually has some YouTube videos that show you how to do this too. It's much more informative than the instruction sheet. So here we're going to get started. Okay, so first thing we need to do is get the roof off of the unit. It just snaps off. It's just kind of got to push and work it, and it comes off. I may need to pick it up. There we go. It just kind of snaps in there. They claim you cannot break these cars by twisting and turning and pulling and prying, but we're trying to be careful here. There we go. Finally came off. And it sounded like it broke, but it did not. There's our roof assembly. There's these little holes here with these clips that hold it on. And then the doors slide in here. We'll have to put the doors back in when we put it back together. The regular coaches don't have the doors. This combine car has doors. So there is the roof off. First thing we're going to do is kind of set that piece aside, and we're going to take the roof apart here and set the wheels aside for a minute. We got to split the roof apart. Take these 4 screws, 5, 6 screws out. I've got my little tray for screws here. So that piece will temporarily set aside for a minute. And what we need to do now is we need to flip the circuit board over and attach the cables. I'll show you here in a minute. We've got 2 whites and 2 grays, and they're labeled on here. If I can get it in the camera. They're labeled on here white and gray, and then we have digital and analog. We're going to connect to the analog circuit because we're just using track power, no decoders to make the lights do strange stuff. So we're going to put those on there. One white and one gray on each end of this. The other car, we needed to use our little pliers to put these on with. They just slide on the little pins there. It's the white wire on the analog. Gray wire. On the analog. And then we'll do the same for the other side. See? And yeah, there's probably easier, less expensive ways to do this, but I want to use all the parts from Pico. Because yeah, you could probably order a lighting strip from Amazon and put it in there. But I just wanted all my cars to be with the Pico parts. Now the pins are all on there. Now what we're going to do is flip this board over so the lights are down, exposed. And we're going to screw them to the roof using two little screws. The two little chrome screws that came with the lighting kit. They go into two holes that are existing in the roof. Get those secure. Now we're going to get the inner portion of the roof and get it back on here. We need to run, there's little holes in each corner here that the wires go through. And again, just keep the whites on one side and the grays on the other side, and those pulled through and put these screws back in the roof. Okay. Roof's all back together. Gotta loosen that. Got something pinched there. There we go. Make sure we don't have anything pinched. That one was a little tight. So now we're back. Nothing's pinched. Everything's free. So now we're going to set this aside and work on the car itself. Okay, first thing we do here, flip it upside down, undo the one screw on the bottom here for each truck. Take each truck off. Each truck has a screw and a washer here to help them pivot. Then we're going to loosen the screws on the ends here to get these little railings off, just to minimize potential breakage when we split the car in half. And then we're going to, first thing we're going to do here is put the wheels in. Like I told you, each end will have a regular steel wheel and a wheel with bearings. We'll put the bearing wheels on the outer wheels, and that helps if you're crossing weak spots in the track power or something, to keep it from flickering too much. The power will be spread out pretty good on the car. There, they just pop in like that. They just pull them apart. You pull it out a little bit, and the wheels come out. And yes, you end up with a bunch of extra wheels when you're done. But extra parts is not a bad thing. Now, we take our other wires here, and we're going to attach them to these screws right there. There's a screw on either side. Those are the electrical pickups. We're going to attach those to these wires with the little loop. So we'll need our flathead screwdriver for that. One white, one gray per wheel assembly. We'll get that done, and then we'll work on the body of the car. There's the one white wire attached. Now we're going to do the gray wire on this truck. kind of angle them a little bit towards the middle or the center, because that's where the wire holes are in the body. There we go. There's those, and then these wires actually go through. There's a hole here that matches a hole in the bottom of the car, and they go in here. And that's how those get routed into there. We're going to do the same thing with the other truck now. And again, making sure you keep the white wire on one side and gray wire on the other. So those will get running through here. And now the trucks are all wired. Now to work on the chassis a little more here, we got to take the bottom off of this. There are two screws only, because the third screw would have been visible through here. So there's 2 screws in the bottom of this one. The coaches have 3 screws. On each end there is a little clip here. We kind of got to push the body through to get this off, and then we're going to reattach the trucks, running the wires through this little hole here, and then I'll show what we do next. Get our screws out of our little screw thing there. Need the other screwdriver, not the flathead. It's all Phillips screws other than the connections to the wheels. Okay, that's all back attached. Now, what they showed on the Pico video was we're going to run the wires and trace them through these little cutouts here. And they showed you use some electrical tape to hold the wires in place while you're putting the car back together. Let's make sure we get the wires on the correct sides, since they tend to switch directions when you're putting these back together. So we're going to put some electrical tape here to guide these wires into these little troughs that they have in the body, to make sure we leave enough slack for the wheels to pivot. And what these troughs do is they line up with holes in the bottom of the car there. That way the wires go to the corners of the car. We got all that in. Now we need to put our wires through these holes. That hole looks like it might not be punched through all the way. Yeah, those have some plastic pieces still in the way there. I don't know if you can see these 4 holes here on either end of this thing. We're going to put the wires through those holes and into the car. So I took this out of the other one. So it looks like that's probably what I'm going to do this time too. I took the insert out that has the detail of the seats, and look, even a little bathroom. And these are supposed to be like heaters, but that way we can get the wires run through a little easier into the car. And then we snap once we get the wires pulled through, then we can snap the car back together. Make sure the wires are up here. I kind of pulled them through and pinch them over the edges here so that I can get the little detail insert back in. Get our little detail insert back in. There. And then the screws that go in the bottom of the car actually go into that insert. So we're going to put those 2 screws back in now. And this one's a little tough. My screwdriver is not magnetic, so we're going to use our pair of pliers to get the screw drop back in on the other end here. There. That's all screwed back together. Our wiring, our wheels, our car here. Now we're going to work on connecting the roof. These pins just go together here. Gray to gray, white to white. And then there's not really a wrong or right way to do this. I tuck the wires up in here to kind of hide them. Into the roof, they tend to fit good up into the roof area here. Gotta remember to get the doors back on. This one has doors, the other one did not have doors. Door there, and door here. We kind of make sure the wires tuck in the corners here. We can kind of, these we can tuck them a little bit better as we get in here. We can make sure they're not visible from the doors. Okay. There we go. Make sure it's all snapped back into place. After that one's assembled, we got the wheels. The only thing they suggested is to put it on a piece of track that's powered and check the lights beforehand. But I don't have a piece of track out here that's active, so I need to check it indoors. I still got to put the little ends back on. That's very simple. These just slide into place, and you tighten the two screws. And that one's back on. We'll do the same with the other side. And now we've got two complete cars. And I will power them up inside to show you when I'm done with all four of them. That's two of them are done. I got one more coach and the caboose to do. I'll show you the caboose when I do it. I need to watch a YouTube video first. Okay, so now we're working on the caboose. We already did the other coach over there. See, the caboose already has power pickups with the wipers, which I see I can convert those over to ball bearings to minimize some of the strain on the engine. But basically this kit just comes with the lighting panels connected with a ribbon cable and the mounting screws and the instruction sheet. This one looks much simpler. Just got to pop the top off and screw it to the insides and hook it up. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so this one's a little different. It looks like a little simpler. What we're going to start with, we're going to take these ladders off so we don't break them. They just slide off of here. And then same thing with the roof. It just snaps off. See, it just comes off. And put that back together. This is, the wiring is up inside there. Unplug the pin connectors here. That's already here. And they completely wired it. Makes you wonder why they didn't just put the lighting kit in other than to make more money on the piece. Unplug all these. Get all this back together. Looks like I need glue or something on there. That's how that goes. Just goes back in there. There we go. So we'll set the bottom part, and we're going to take a look at this because it looks like this one little light assembly came apart. That snap back together there. Okay. A lot of little pieces here. That's back the right place. Don't want to hurt the wires. There we go. Now we're going to take this inner roof piece out of here. And we're going to screw these pieces in here. Connect the wires here. Get it in here. not even need to take that apart. We're going to try something here. The wires are already run through there, so maybe we can... Those panels should fit in there. I'm going to start with putting this panel in the middle here. Get our little screws. The one in there for the ceiling of the upper part of the caboose. See, they already ran the wires in here, so we're just going to connect these. Same as they were on the other one, to the where it says white analog and gray analog. And then again, this one, undo their little tape they have here. Go gray analog. White analog. Might need a little help with the pliers. Put a couple screws in here. This back over here. reconnect our pins. Those pins are all reconnected. Two more pins to reconnect on the other side. On this side, we got to make sure we put the marker lights back in too. Pins are all back in. We got to get our little marker lights back up in here. These are little slots to go back into. That one apart again. Go. This has just got some stuff that needs to line up in here to work. There we go. I think we're getting it back in here now. Okay, I think we're all back together now. That still slides. That stuff's not clipped. All back together. We just got to put our little lighters back on. Wrong side. I missed that, but we'll get it all back together. The door didn't go into its little slot to pop the roof back off. Door's back in its slot now. And put this back together. I need to pull some of it back apart. Basically, that's how it goes. I need to put the screws back in the roof. I forgot about that, but I'll do that. So basically, I'll get them lit up here, and I'll show you what it does. Thanks for watching this part of it, and I'll show you the final. Here's what they look like all lit up. That's the combine car. 2 coaches. And the caboose. I don't know how well that came out, but we got a little light on there so we can see them up close. That'll look really cool going around the train track with them all lit up. Thanks for watching, everyone. I know model trains isn't for everybody, but it's what I like to tinker with. Thanks for watching.